say that.
Good evening and welcome to the very first episode of the JDL and BunnyMan show. We're actually together at the same time.
Hey.
We are joined tonight by our very great friends, Paul Torts here, Ranger fan. And in the back, you hear a voice by the name of Kyle Kramer, who will be probably chiming in every once in a while.
Damn right.
Here we go. The first in tonight's episode, while we watch the Battleground pay-per-view on the other screen we have going on here, will be the tag team division. And simply what you have to do to rebuild the tag team division and what you have to do to save the tag team division. Here's the idea. Number one, do you create more tag teams? If so, who are they? Number two, if you're going to start a rivalry between two tag teams to save it, what's the rivalry for and is it for the belts? And the third and final topic, is the tag team division worth saving? Or is it maybe a time and era in wrestling that tag team wrestling might just be dead? So number one, we're going to start. What would you do to rebuild the tag team division? I'm going to throw it to the special guest first. Paul, what would you do?
The first what I'd do, I'd go down to NXT, and I'd build up teams there, kind of like they did with Nexus when they had what's his face, Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett. They had
Justin Gabriel.
Actually
tagged
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Wyatt, Bray Wyatt. They had him form a stable, and then they just kind of went their own ways. Then they did the core. I think they got
the Ascension, which they're still working on.
I mean, they got talented guys down there, and it's all about building chemistry, you know. I think the Shield, when they first debuted, everyone was expecting it to be Ambrose, Rollins, and what's the one that just got released? No. I'm trying to think. He got fired because he wasn't working out.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
Hawkins.
No.
Oh, Chris Hero.
Yeah.
Hero. Okay. Yeah.
There was speculation that those three would come in and it'd be the Shield members.
Waste 2 years of his career.
All right.
But that's a different story.
All right. So Paul says build up the NXT tag team ranks, and you know what? That's probably the best thing you do. My idea is a little bit different. I say you take guys that right now that aren't working on the main roster, and you put them as a team. WWE is known for doing this. It's how we had one of the greatest tag teams of all time in New Age Outlaws. You took Rockabilly, who was doing Jack, and you took the Roadie, who did Jack after Jeff Jarrett split for WCW, and you put them together, and it worked, and it got over. And so if you look at the roster now, there's a lot of people you can do because we have a giant roster, and you know the one in the pre-match that we have talked about, me and JDL and me and Paul. Putting Adam Rose and Fandango together, and I think the gimmicks work perfectly well. I think with a good mix-up of characters,
their in-ring ability, they just I've seen their matches against each other. You can love. He doesn't like them. Kyle doesn't like them. But honestly, together, I'm not a big Fandango character. I don't like his character. I prefer Johnny Curtis.
He put paint on his head.
But as together, they would make a great tag team. I think they would be a really good tag team together. No. And that's something that's missing in this day and age. They don't make... You always get these makeshift tag teams that don't really need to exist. But
I think Swagger needs to be put in a tag team with... oh, God, what is his name? Not Rusev.
No.
The guy in NXT, the hype guy. Oh, Jesus, God.
We're going to watch NXT, I don't know.
Oh, my God. He's even from the University of Maryland. I forget his name. But he's like, get hype, stay hype. Trust me, watch NXT. He's worth watching. Paul's watching Battleground.
Not Pac, right?
No, not Pac. I forget his name. But anyway, you take a veteran and a young guy, and you put them together as a tag team. I think rebuilding the tag team ranks through that way.
Kind of like they did with Holly and Rhodes when Rhodes first came in.
Yeah, I like they did with Holly and Rose before they messed it up, and they brought in Ted, and they took Ted and Cody, who were a great tag team.
Yes, and they kind of just did nothing with Ted afterwards.
Okay, now how would you? And so I think taking rosters moves and putting vets and rookies together, and even putting rookies together, and just mission matching, because you have a big enough roster. I mean, yeah, you cut a lot of people, but there's still a lot of people that you don't use. From what I hear from a lot of people want to use. I mean, Zack Ryder is a great talent. Find him a tag team partner. That's all you got to do.
He was great with Kurt Hawkins. He was great as a tag team.
Now, what would you do?
I agree with you. I think you honestly... You both have good points.
Wait,
you can do this through NXT. But I agree with you. Ha! I agree with you that you have this big roster, and you don't use all of them. And that's why a lot of them, like JTG, got finally released after how long. But he was in a decent tag team at first. But once you took his tag team apart,
I love Crime Time.
when you take his tag team partner away, they had no idea what to do with him. So you have this roster, like Fandango and Adam Rose, which would make a good tag team. You just figure out two that can chemistry. Like maybe it's if you're gonna give up on Ziggler, give him a shot as a tag team, a great tag team.
Bring back the Spirit Squad.
Oh, it's not bring back the Spirit
Nikki! Honestly, if you're gonna tag team Ziggler with anybody, Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze and Ziggler would make a really, really good tag team.
And then you go another.
Considering the fact they just released Ziggler's brother.
Yeah. You saw that coming.
But here's the thing. Honestly, and I know this is diverging off topic just a little bit, but I don't think the greatest tag team in the last 10 years was even in the WWE.
No.
No, I think the greatest tag team in the last 10 years, two of the greatest tag teams in the last 10 years were in TNA. Both were in TNA. And one was America's Most Wanted with James Storms and Chris Harris, who had the most imaginable, greatest match. Look it up. AMW versus Triple X and the Steel, Six Sides of Steel will be a match that you never forget. And the second one, Kyle just said what I was about to say, is Beer Money with Robert Roode and James Storm. Has to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I don't care TNA or not. They are a great tag team. They got over his heels. They got over his faces. You watch TNA, they do the double suplex, you hear Beer Money, and the entire crowd went nuts.
You're clearly forgetting about Cena and the C Nation. Those two together, they never lose. They never lose. Greatest tag team in the past 10 years.
Cena and his damn C Nation.
Did you see that cartoon? What? Vince told the cartoon was Vince told Cena not to be late, and Cena's like, "Don't worry, I got a new alarm clock." And it went off, hit 1, hit 2, and it's just about to 3. The alarm clock off. Battleground has just started. The fire was going off, and the stage looks completely like all the rest. Anyway, so we have Paul was saying build through NXT, which is a great idea. We have me and JDL saying build.
I agree with both, but I
build through vets and rookies to kind of get them in, kind of break them in. But here's the thing: with me saying two of the best tag teams in history in the last 10 years, both being TNA. No WWE tag team really, even like the Hart Dynasty and all that, really not coming to fruition. Do you think tag team wrestling is a forgotten art?
Yeah, I have to add in the Young Bucks.
Not to cut you. No, that's just in TNA and WA right now. But just to cut them off right now, as we're looking at this, as we're filming this, speaking the Usos have just walked on the stage with the tag team title belts,
which means that the tag team title match is going on as we're doing this.
And I honestly don't think that the Usos are going to save the tag team division in the WWE.
No, I don't think that. They are a great tag team. They are. They work well because they're brothers, and it works well. But and I'm glad that they finally got the titles. That was awesome. However, they have no ability to change it.
Or is the tag team division now just a filler match?
Oh, of course. And I think
for a while it didn't seem that.
I think the problem with tag team wrestling in the WWE is, first off, the stupid rules, how you can only have one save per match. Even though it's not officially written in there, you can only save your partner one time in the match before it gets a disqualification.
And we have seen that.
That and the move sets in the WWE are so limited. So what these guys are doing in Ring of Honor or in the indie scenes where they're pulling off these amazing double team moves, they don't have a shot to show it off
in the
ring.
Like the Steiners.
Oh yeah.
Remember the Hart Foundation, the Steiners. Remember the double top rope bulldog?
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was great. But here's the thing: I'm gonna go to Paul for this one. And the fucking LOD with Doomsday. I'm gonna go with Paul. I'm gonna go with Paul for the first one.
LOD.
Do you think that the art of tag team wrestling needs to go away for a little bit for fans to miss it.
At this point, if
No.
Now, why do you say no, Paul?
Because you got the tag teams are out there. They're out there, and you see them. You have so much potential with the Wyatts right now, with the Usos. You got guys in NXT you can build and put together as a team, so when they come on the main roster, they don't look like they're just mateship like they do in the main event every week. Oh, here's Cena pairing with Dean Ambrose now. Will they have the chemistry? Well, no, they won't, because they're a mateship tag team.
Okay. So they're not built as a team. They don't have the hours together, the time to put it. Okay.
It's more smooth if they're a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse, JDL, do you think the tag team art needs to go away for fans to appreciate and miss it?
See, that's my heart of a tag team division, honestly. You'd hate to see it go. Part of me wants to say yes, though. But I don't know. I can imagine that they have the ability, like he said. They have the ability to create these tag teams, bring them in. You have the Ascension down there, and they plan on bringing them up. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to bring them up until after WrestleMania.
Okay. No.
You have the ability of putting, like we said, also you have the vets. Have the vets do like Dolph Ziggler and Tyler Breeze. You can have that. You have the ability of doing it. Is one tag team going to save it? No. You have to have a group of tag teams. If they're not going to push it, though, if they are going to just give up on it, just let it go for a while.
Here's the thing where I agree with both of you, but I want to get to that last statement you said before I get to Kyle and see what he has to say. In the mid 2000s, when you look at when they only had like a really 3 to 4 deep tag team roster.
Los Guerreros.
Before that. When you had just the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, you had the Road Dogg and X-Pac as a filler. You had a couple of like tiny ones here and there, but it was only a 3-team, and they didn't push it. It just pushed because the fans attracted.
They really didn't completely push until the damn TLC.
But here's the thing: the fans attracted to it. Maybe, and that's what they need. I'm gonna adjust the camera real quick because we are gonna go to Kyle. Okay, we're not gonna just hear me. Okay, Kyle. Do you what do you how do you feel about the tag team? You need to go away.
It needs to die because Sarge's dead.
Simple enough.
To answer.
It's already dead. Why prolong it? Just let it freaking end now.
I think.
And let these guys do what they were trained to do and go by themselves. And every now and then, just to spice it up or something, have tag teams just for a match here and there, like on Raw. But the division itself is dead, and it needs to go because they let all these big names do what they want and forgot about what the tag team division really was. Because the way the tag team division was at one point, it was the not so big names, and that's how they became big name guys. Yeah. Now, you'll see, like what you guys were saying, the Usos. You'll see the Wyatts. What other real tag team is there?
Yeah, you have
now that the Shield is broke.
You have 2 teams fighting for one title. That's stupid. That's a waste of time.
That's why if you're not gonna put the time into actually making tag teams or bringing up tag teams and having enough tag teams in that, they use them right now, but they really don't go towards it. Right now, this last few months, we've seen the Usos versus the Wyatts, and you think the Wyatts are gonna win, but they don't. If they're gonna keep losing, it makes the point. Just have different teams. Face them for the titles. If you're just going to have the same team lose to the champions every time, just kill it.
Now, what Kyle says and what Jesse says, I'm going to see if Paul agrees with me here. You do have more than 2 teams, but only 2 teams really get the recognition. Honestly, Goldust and Stardust are just a team. Yeah. You know, you have Ryback that I love, but let's face it, they're not a threat to the title.
No.
They're never a threat to the title.
The Wyatts just look it because of their aggression.
Yeah. And it's one of those situations, and to answer the question on my own, because I'm obviously the last one that has to answer the question, I love tag team wrestling. I was built as a fan of tag team wrestling. That's what got me into wrestling. It was the Hart Foundation and the Rockers and the Orient Express and the Legion of Doom and Steiner Brothers and the Bushwhackers and all the great teams of today. Harlem Heat, especially WCW fans. Harlem Heat. Gotta love Harlem Heat. But here's the thing about tag team titles for 5 years.
And they got missed very quick.
And they were missed, and fans would bring it up. And what they did, they brought the tag team titles back. They had a giant tournament. And if you look back at the ratings, the tournament was the highest rated segment. And Super Bowl 8 was the finals of that tournament, where you had Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko representing the Four Horsemen. And Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig.
Barry Windham.
As the veteran tag team, and the storyline was so good, and the fans gravitated to it that when Wyndham and Hennig won the titles, the place went nuts.
Yeah.
The place went absolutely nuts. And as I'm watching Battleground right now, and I think Jimmy's trying to push Jay up, you have a couple of fans dancing and clapping, but really the crowd's sitting on their hands. So, in my theory, yes. I hate to admit it. The WWE, the Wyatts just won. The Wyatts just won.
The hell is that?
The Wyatts, the knee trembler. Wyatts just won. Wyatts are new tag team champions.
Jey Uso came and got kicked in the face.
Oh my God, the Wyatts just won. As we say this, that it needs to die, there is a title change. Wait.
Go to prove us wrong.
Wait.
Oh, wait, it's elimination, I think.
It is?
It's best 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh!
I didn't even know that. I really didn't even know that.
There's no title change.
Okay.
There's no title change.
I didn't know that.
These guys are the ones that watch it the most, but I knew that.
I haven't had cable all week. Don't blame me.
But yes, the tag team division does need to go, and I think once the fans start to miss it, I think with the WWE Network, and they see old tag teams like Harlem Heat, like the Rockers, like the Legion of Doom, and you can see the rivalries that they used to have with each other, I think fans will start to clamor, especially the older fans, for the tag team division again. But until that moment comes, we're sorry.
Just if you're not going to put the effort, just kill it.
Okay.
Listen, the only true way, like I said before in the video, is to save the tag team division is just give Cena and the C Nation the titles. I mean, those two are inseparable.
Yeah, but then we'll never have a division ever.
No, it's not. Cena doesn't belong in a tag division.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
Okay. But before we just get out of hand, we're going to say our last comments of the night about the Battleground pay-per-view. We're going to start with Paul. Paul, how do you think the pay-per-view is going to end tonight?
The Fatal 4-Way match, obviously, it's no doubt Cena's going to win, but Randy Orton and Kane are going to fight each other on the outside, and then Reigns is going to miss his spear, and then that sets up for the STFU, and then there's going to be a tap out.
Okay, Jesse?
I don't think it's going to end by submission, but I do agree that because Triple H doesn't care, and he told both of them in the same sense, Kane and Orton eventually are going to go at it. From what I've kind of heard, Orton might end up turning because Rollins is Triple H's new golden boy.
Yeah.
So we can just assume, honestly, I'm going to say it straight out, Orton and Kane are not winning. It's just so you leave it down to Cena and Reigns. Now the idea is, do you have, because Bryan's progress is decreasing, do they push Reigns this early, or do they have Rollins cash in at the end of the night? Either way, if Cena wins, Rollins cashes in, depending on when that match is. If that match is next, it's probably not going to actually happen.
Kyle, who wins?
Which match?
Fatal 4-Way.
Oh. Cena.
Cena wins.
Sorry, guys. The poster for sure.
I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Shield fan, and I miss them being together. I love Ambrose being part. I'm bigger Ambrose than I am freaking Rollins, and then Rollins would be second. So I'm sorry, but Reigns, your time is going to happen at WrestleMania, not now.
Yes, Cena's going to win because the SummerSlam poster gave it away.
Yeah,
but
he's facing.
The way it's going to happen is that, like what what the guys have said, that something's going to happen between Orton and Kane, where they're going to go at it and Orton hit him with the RKO. Going to turn around and unexpectedly get speared. Reigns is getting up, falling right into the
He goes into it.
and that's it.
Okay.
He wins because of Reigns for the second month in a row.
And mine, I do think Cena will win, but I think tonight you will find out what Plan C is. We all have our ideas. We all have our thoughts. However, to say how this, I think what's going to happen is I think Orton's going to hit Kane. Reigns is going to take out Orton, and then Kane's going to get AA'd. But to end tonight, we thank you all for watching the video. We appreciate it. For JDL, Paul Torts, Kyle Kramer, and the Bunny Man myself, Tool. We thank you. Enjoy the pay-per-view. Enjoy the menagerie that it is. And we take care. Have fun. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace! And I lost the